The woman on the mountain road. Some encounters stay with you forever. Not because they were dangerous, but because they make you question everything you thought was real. This happened to me in October of 2023. At the time, I was living in Colorado and working long shifts at a warehouse outside of Denver. One Friday night, after spending the evening with a friend in a small mountain town, I started the drive back home. It was already late, very late. The clock on my dashboard read 2:30 a.m. The mountain road was almost completely empty. There were no cars, no houses, no gas stations, nothing. Just endless darkness and thick fog. The fog was so dense that my headlights barely reached more than 20 feet ahead. I kept both hands tightly on the steering wheel. Every turn felt dangerous. Every shadow looked strange. The entire road felt wrong, almost like I wasn't supposed to be there. Then, I saw someone. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but as I got closer, I realized it was a woman. She was standing completely alone on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere at 2:30 in the morning. I slowed down. She looked young, maybe in her early 20s. She wore a long white coat that looked soaked from the cold mountain mist. Her dark hair hung over her shoulders, and she wasn't moving, not even an inch, just standing there, watching the road. I hesitated. Every instinct told me to keep driving, but something else told me she might need help. Maybe her car had broken down. Maybe she was lost. Maybe she was in danger. So I pulled over. I rolled down the passenger window. "Are you okay?" I asked. The woman slowly turned her head toward me. For a moment, she didn't say anything. Then, she smiled, a small smile, and quietly said, "I need a ride." I looked around. There were no vehicles nearby, no lights, no signs of anyone else. Against my better judgment, I unlocked the door. She climbed into the passenger seat. The moment she sat down, the temperature inside the car dropped. It felt freezing, like someone had opened a freezer. I glanced at the heater. It was still running normally, but somehow the cold remained. The woman sat silently beside me, looking straight ahead, not moving, not even blinking much. For several minutes, the only sound was the engine. Finally, I tried making conversation. "Where are you headed?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she stared out the window, then quietly said, "Just keep driving." Something about her voice made my stomach tighten. It sounded distant, almost hollow, like it was coming from somewhere very far away. A few more minutes passed. Then suddenly, she turned toward me and asked a question I'll never forget, a question that still keeps me awake at night. She looked directly into my eyes and said, "Do you know where I died?" My hands nearly slipped off the steering wheel. I felt every hair on my body stand up. I laughed nervously, thinking maybe it was some kind of joke. But she wasn't smiling. She wasn't joking. She simply stared at me, waiting for an answer. And that's when I noticed something horrifying. In the reflection of the passenger side window, I couldn't see her. I could see myself. I could see the road. I could see the dashboard. But I couldn't see her reflection. My heart started pounding. I slowly turned my head toward the passenger seat, and in that exact moment, the seat was empty, completely empty. The woman was gone, vanished, without a sound, without a trace. I slammed on the brakes. The car skidded across the wet pavement. I jumped out and looked everywhere. The road was empty. The fog surrounded me from every direction. There was no sign of her. No footprints, no movement, nothing. Just silence. Absolute silence. A few days later, I couldn't stop thinking about what happened, so I searched local news archives, and eventually, I found something. An article from nearly 10 years earlier. A young woman had died in a car accident on that exact stretch of road at 2:30 in the morning. The photo attached to the article made my blood run cold, because it was her, the same woman, the same face, the same eyes. To this day, I avoid that road whenever possible, and every October when the fog rolls through the mountains, I remember her question, "Do you know where I died?" And honestly, I wish I never found the answer. Some roads lead home, and some roads lead somewhere entirely else.